Hello, and welcome to this episode of Retro Game Living Room. Today, we're going to be taking a closer look at Screen Tennis Game. This is a mechanical Pong game that came out in the United States around 1975, released by Yonezawa Toys. I'll take it out of the box, show you it in action, and do a review on it. So stick around. Here's a close-up of Screen Tennis in the box. We see a child on it lovingly adoring and enjoying this game, but then it says caution, not recommended for children 6 years of age. How old does that kid look to you? About that age? It's probably why most boxes I've seen of this don't actually contain this picture. They instead look like this. There's not a whole lot else to see on the box on either of the sides of the box. Which brings us to the best part, which is just taking it out and taking a look at what's in the box. So we can see Screen Tennis. It is a very nice looking console. It has nice writing on it. It has automatic scorekeeping that you can also change manually. It has a power switch, and of course it has, two paddles, one for each player. And you can see that as I move the paddle, it mechanically moves the game paddle as well. There's not a whole lot to see on the back of the console, except for over here there's a battery door. Opening it up reveals that it takes 4D batteries, which means it's time for me to bust out the battery bag. So I'm going to install 4D batteries in this, and then we're going to play it. With a flick of the switch, Screen Tennis comes to a screaming start. We hear the motor roar. The ding bell denotes that a point was scored. The gameplay is simple, and it plays and feels as good as most Pong games do, except you can actually feel the force feedback of the motor hitting your paddle. As points are missed, the counter will automatically tick after each bell rings. Player 2 has already actually flipped their entire counter, and so the game is technically over. 10 points is the maximum score in the game. I have 9, and that makes 10, and when I make this next one, it resets back to 0. Now, I would like to show you what this looks like, so I'm going to go ahead and take the top off so you can see how it works. The light is right here. This light also acts as a switch. It goes left and right. So when it hits the left edge, it bounces back. When it hits the right edge, it bounces back. It won't bounce back from that edge because here it's just bouncing back on the battery compartment because this is connected to the switch as well. In the actual game assembled, the top of the light bounces off of either of these two bars. If you block the light with your paddle, it prevents you from getting a point. Now let's look at how that works. So when this comes in contact with the paddle, it hits the switch and sends it back the other direction. But if it goes a little further, watch right here. The carriage grabs this mechanism, which turns the point counter and moves this bell impactor, and the point changes and the bell rings. So what do I think of Screen Tennis? Well, what do you think? For me, this game is awesome. It has tactile feedback that's really largely missing from Pong-style video games. There were a lot of mechanical-style Pong games around this era. Other companies were trying to catch the Lightning that was Pong in a bottle. And we ended up with a number of games from a number of different companies, like this example of Blip from Tomy, which is a very common and popular version of mechanical Pong. Not so great. This one's amazing. If you get a chance to pick it up, do it. If you're a fan of cool, weird video game style toys, this is for you.